So today I am bench pressing, and I wanted to show you guys my thought process when it comes to warming up, because this is a question that comes up quite often with clients. Now, before we get started, I want you guys to understand that it's just like a general theme. Like, again, when we've talked about this with clients, I've had people say, okay, so what should my weight be for the second set and the third set and this and that. Like, don't get too caught up in the numbers, get more caught up in the theme and the idea of how we're doing it. So what I like to do is I like to do like a kind of pyramid approach. So we're starting with low weight, high reps, and then as we're working up towards our working weight, we'll start to reduce the reps. So for example, I'm going to bench press here. So let's just say my working set is going to be 100 kilos, and that'll keep things nice and simple. So I would do a set, maybe 15 to 20 reps with a barbell. It's not going to tire me out much. It's just going to be enough to get everything moving and get the blood flowing. And then I'd move up to 60 kilos, so a 20 plate a side. And at that, I'd do 10 reps. And then I might go up to 70, might do about 6 reps, might go up to 80, do a couple of reps there, up to 90, take it for 1, I'll take 100 for 1, and then I'll go from there. That's time to start doing my working set. So again, it's just that theme. We're starting with low weight, high reps, and we're working up to our working weight, but reducing the reps as we're coming up. Sometimes I actually even like going a little bit heavier than what my working set's going to be. And again, all we're doing here really is we're getting the muscles and joints warm, ready to go, and then we're toning up the nervous system. We're getting the nervous system ready for the load that it's about to experience. And again, like, you'll see people go into gyms and sometimes they'll just go straight into like their working weight, and you'll see them kind of move it and struggle to get it up, and they're fighting their way up. And again, that's just because your nervous system is like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, totally not expecting that. If we work up in the way that I've just explained, you're going to be more switched on, more ready for it, and your muscles are going to be more prepared too. So the chance of you injuring yourself are going to be less. Now, we're just talking about specifically warming up in the context of for the exercise to get up to your working weight. Before doing a certain exercise, something I'm not a big fan of is static stretching, okay? And a lot of people, you see a lot of people static stretching pre-workout. The reason I'm not a big fan of this pre-workout is because it basically down-regulates the muscle tissues, okay? So it's kind of switching them off to some degree. It means the amount of force that they're going to be able to produce is going to be taken down a notch. So we don't necessarily want that before going into some heavy lifting. So what we can do though is we can up-regulate tissues, and we do that through contracting. So when it comes to bench press, some of the tissues that we might want to up-regulate, for example, would be the pecs. So you could do something along the lines of doing a pec deck, getting those muscles short and getting them stretched and contracting them throughout the range. You wouldn't need to do this with a lot of weight, but it's just a nice way to get that muscle kind of primed. But we also want to think about the other muscles that are involved, not just your prime movers. We want to think about the ones that are supporting that joint and helping maintain your path of motion throughout the exercise. So we might be talking about things like rotator cuffs, we might be talking about things like lats, shoulders, all those sort of things that are going to get involved in this movement. So up-regulating them and just giving them a little bit of contraction before doing the bench press, that might make a lot of sense. But a lot of this stuff is going to be scenario specific. So to do a video and talk about, you know, what you should do specifically, it's kind of impossible. And again, that's why we come back to, we're just talking about a general theme here for warming up for a specific exercise. So we've been through that warm up on the first exercise, but if we're training the same muscles again, we're going to a similar exercise that's using the same muscles, we're not going to need to do as much a warm up this time. So what I would generally do on this machine now, if I was going on to it after bench press, is I would just do one lower weighted set just to get a feel for it, and then go right up to my working weight from there. So it's as simple as that. And that's it, it's as simple as that. If you get your warm up right, you're going to facilitate a better training experience. You want to just get that balance between doing enough to get yourself warm and not doing too much that you get yourself knackered. Again, I've seen so many people doing their warm up sets, and again, we'll use the example of the bench press. If they're benching 100 kilos in their working sets and they're doing 90 for 10 before it, what do you think that's going to do? Of course it's going to tire you out. So we just need to get it right. Get the muscle warm, tone up the nervous system, get to your working weights, and then go. And when you move on to the next exercise for that muscle group, you're not going to need as much of a warm up.